Comic Book Syndicate assemble.
Almarcot, everybody.
That'll do. That'll do for now.
Okay, wait. So I want to. Can I introduce the segment?
Sure.
We're gonna call this one.
Go ahead.
Things we found in the drawer.
No. Classic art.
Classic art
versus new art.
Does that sound cool? All right, let's do it.
Same old
this
thing.
came out of a conversation I had with Tim at Border City the other day. We're looking at the newest issue of Batman and Robin. And we don't even know what the heck is going on.
Okay.
Because of the ongoing trend of art just degrading in quality over the past 20 years.
Okay.
So here's the page that Tim and I were talking about. Thank you, guys. Now I'm looking at this, and in all honesty, I have no idea what the hell is going on. Look at this. She's running towards him. Then we got a shot here of
a whip.
Yeah. We see her face. Grr. We see this. It's so confusing and it's all close-ups. I don't even really know what's happening.
Look,
I don't know what's going on, and I'm kind of confused. What do you guys think? Al, what do you think, man?
Well, first of all, you can see the manga-esque influence has infiltrated the North American drawing style, and we're not gonna get rid of it now. You see the lines of motion, the action lines in the back there, and especially here also. Not to cut you off there, honey, but
I find that a bit sexist. But go ahead.
No, I'm just trying to make my point. But you know, we're not going to get rid of it. So it kind of gets convoluted along the way because you know the old American style is pretty much gone now. You know, they're trying to appeal to a broad audience that doesn't know what good comic book art is.
Michelle?
I think that it's influenced a lot by the recent trend in comic book movies. Well, the issue that you were having, it reminds me of those fight scenes in Transformers, when it's so complicated that you don't quite understand exactly what's going on. I can appreciate the art, though. I think that like when you look at the actual people, the shapes and the shades and the lines and the colors and things like that, I can appreciate it as an art. But as a comic book, not really, because that doesn't feel right.
Lauren?
Just by the way the panels are laid out, it's all action. There's not obviously any dialogue going on, but even the sounds are minimal, and it all just seems very photoshopped.
Ooh, okay, Danny.
I hate to interrupt you, young lady.
You sexist pig.
Very little effort. Really looks nothing like the classic art that we would have seen, but not for me.
I have nothing good to say about this. However, this same comic, Batman.
Jim Aparo,
a little bit
please.
of Jim Aparo. All I can say is this. I'm looking at this art, and I'm thinking, you know what? I don't need to read the bubbles. I see Bruce Wayne over here. There's a girl running behind him. She's running away. He's happy that she's running away because he gets to change into Batman. Team up with the Creeper. Look at this. Jump down and fight this guy. I don't even know who he is, the Parasite. And then over here, you know, the fight continues. But look at this. Mid-shot, close-up of him with her in the background, then to a completely different angle, then to under, then to over, and it's just like every panel he's using something different, and he's taking you through the page, and like I said, the guy sitting at the back of the room can see exactly what's going on.
How about a classic onomatopoeia, Krang? That was what you were lacking in the last sequence.
Krang, yeah, Krang. Michelle, what do you think?
I think it's very good. I think it's very, very good. It's very classic. You do know exactly what's going on. And if you want to talk about being able to understand it, like kids could understand it, adults could understand it, and I like it.
Yeah, and it creates more visual interest because it's it's delineated compared to the other one. It's just, it jumps around, and you get the action lines, and it's not just, even when the guy had the lasso around the girl's neck and he's pulling him towards her, she's not leaning forward into it as though she's being hauled towards him or anything. She's just vertical, you know. It just doesn't add that.
Actually, too, with that other one, I feel better reading that one because it feels like there's a lot more going on in each frame too.
Yes.
And so you don't have comics, because I've read some comics now that, like, you know, you'll read an entire thing and maybe like 2 things major has happened and that's it.
Okay.
And it's because of like pages and pages of this.
Decompression, they call it.
But,
Yeah.
All right.
Oh,
but
okay.
this is key right here. Is this panel right here? Let's get a
Not
close
bad.
up. The how you doing? You know what I mean? That's key. Okay, next one.
This one, what do you think, guys? What do you guys think? Yeah! All right. Okay, ready, guys? Okay, here we go, guys. Legion of Superheroes from last summer. Not enjoying it at all, man. Confusion. Again, look at these wide panels, messy colors. I don't know what's going on. I'm not drawn in. What do you think, Danny?
Actually, I don't know. I don't think this one's that bad. Like, this girl's like, hiya! What's up? And they're all fighting. They're ready to rumble. I mean, that's kind of cool, but a little bit of action, some kaboom, and people getting shot. Not that bad.
Not that bad.
Not that
Al?
bad.
The bottom panel looks okay, but the rest of the page is quite busy.
Shell?
I can appreciate the art. I think it looks very appealing, but I don't really like the new trend, and especially they did it to X-Men where everybody looks really childish.
Yeah, well, manga influence again, right? I think the baby faces and the doe eyes.
The baby face, yeah, that's exactly
Yeah.
it. I don't like that.
I find the bottom panel repetitive. Like it's like okay.
The same angle.
Well, this
straight
one,
on.
it's just like
1, 2, 3.
like it's just like we get it. People are
Yeah.
getting shot, and the whole team. Like this is another scene that I think you find very often in the comics, where it's just everybody just huddled together and shooting out
Yeah,
at every
shooting
angle.
out at everything around them.
Well, yeah, she's really not going to kick anyone at
Yeah,
that.
yeah, you're right.
Really,
You're right.
but-
Well, you know what? This is actually fairly well drawn. Again,
And
storytelling.
she's got her gun pointed at her teammate. That's a
kinda
big
odd.
no-no, right?
Yeah. But now let's
But
take
it's
a
not
look.
loaded,
Let's-
so you're okay. Okay,
Let's
go.
contrast that with this other issue of Legion of Superheroes. The first ever Legion of Superheroes. Colors. You know, solid black lines, bright colors, clear storytelling. What happens? Look at this. He's talking to Legion of Superheroes. He gets into their time bubble. Look at this. 1958, 1960, 1975. They travel to the future. They get out. I know it's the future because there's a robot walking with a big bag around his shoulder. Then they're flying over a futuristic-looking city with flying cars. Look at, I'm in. I know exactly what's going on. We're gonna have a little vote here on New Legion of Superheroes. Anyone? Or Old Legion of Superheroes. Whoa, okay. 1 to 1.
How you doing?
Here we go, guys. Last one. This is it. Spidey time, folks.
Whoa!
This is for the guys in Pogos. Spidey. What do you think? This is a newer issue of Spidey. I see faces here that all look exactly the same, from the same angle. I don't know what's going on, and there's no visual interest. What do you think, Danny?
I think, what's Peter Parker doing with a gun?
He's got a pistol.
Paul.
He's
Well,
back
you
in
know,
heat.
he's packing heat. What do you think,
What's
Shall
up with
and
that? You
Shell?
got spider webs.
I don't even
Like, I mean,
get
I
it.
don't know why he needs a gun,
What do you
but
think, Shell?
Yeah. You got some Ramita for me or what?
Well, maybe. We'll see.
Okay.
Shell?
I think it looks like a Disney cartoon.
yes, very
I
Disney.
really do.
They all have really extreme eyebrows.
And what's Antonio Banderas doing in this issue of Spider-Man?
All right, you know what? Maybe this one's not that good.
Some
but check
Romita.
out, not Romita, a little bit of Gil Kane.
Okay,
folks. What do you
well,
think?
not my
That's-
favorite.
Spidey by Gil Kane. Once again, look at this. Medium shot, close up, wide shot, really far away, looking down at him. Then there's another completely different thing behind him. Then it jumps to an inferior angle, looking up. Then look at this.
That
this
is
experimental
something else. Yeah,
montage
that's
of what he's
great.
thinking. That's a great comic book page there by Shally Shaw. What do you think, man?
That's pretty much perfection. Not my favorite pick, but it's hard to beat.
I really, really like it. I think that I love the expressions in it. I love what you said about the perspectives and the different vantage points and stuff like that. And yeah, that's somewhere around my favorite type of comic. That and like Jim Lee kind of stuff. I like that. That is my favorite.
Hello, eyes and lips. That's sexy.
Gwen Stacy, this
Yeah,
is from
do
issue
you like it?
117.
Good stuff?
It's great.
So,
Okay, awesome.
we're gonna have a little vote here. For new Spidey, what does anyone think?
Yeah, no.
Or old Spidey? Twins, man, 2-1, classic wins.
I'd like to thank everybody for coming out, all the crew, the band, the nameless anonymous band that comes every single week, Al Marcotte, Michelle, Lauren, Mike, Yumi and Korn.
Gotta go down. Taking him down!